God. Well, that worked.
Yeah,
Okay.
it worked.
It worked. Okay, we're done now. Okay, go home.
Okay.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to. Does the other podcast count?
No. I'm gonna.
Oh, that's
I'm
not
gonna
canon
scrap
anymore?
it. I'm gonna scrap it. It was so bad.
This is the true podcast. Don't believe the liars out there that say that this is the second. This is actually the first.
We've never done it before.
Never. No.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Information can confirm that this has been the only podcast we've ever done, and we are not at war with Oceania.
With who?
That's
CANNANADA?
Canada.
Well, that's resurfacing.
That was for those who don't hear the unrecorded stuff. That was for the that's my completely inability to pronounce words in now.
You had a
No,
stroke
no,
mid-sentence. You had a
You
stroke
made it.
mid-sentence.
You made it sound better. You improved it.
I Canada. I tried to say Canada. Canada.
No, CANNANADA.
Do
That sounds better.
do. Yeah.
Canada.
Do.
Canada.
Do. That's our opening. That's our opening. Right there. So
today we're using a random topic generator.
God help us all.
What? We're running out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
That's how prepared we are. So who wants to go first?
I do the most recent film I saw,
Yes, go ahead.
and I shall do it in the style of Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Go ahead.
The most recent films we did see at the cinema was Logan Lucky. But no, I can't do this.
Dude, you did a spot-on impression.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect.
I'm quite proud of that. Hang on.
Stupid fat hobbitses who doesn't like them without taking up seats in the cinema.
That's about it, right?
Yeah,
Does your-
it's around.
Does
it's
your
around.
throat hurt now?
No. I mean, I scarred it years ago doing
I mean,
that.
it sounds damaging.
I was damaged years ago. I'm fine. But no, Logan Lucky. I've seen loads of films this year. Have you guys seen it at all? No.
Probably not.
Couple,
It's-
handful.
Have you happened to see Logan Lucky at all, Kat? No.
No.
No. It's by the same guy who did Ocean's 11, Paul van der.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Paul van der Hoeden, Dutch director. It's not at all in the same style, which is
Alright.
actually really, really cool. Because Ocean's 11 was like a really, really slick heist film,
Yeah.
and this is turned on its head, where it's literally what's his name? Channing Potatoes, Tatum, talcum powder. The dude with the facial hair, you know who it is.
Yeah.
He gets laid off at his job, construction worker at a NASCAR race, and he plans to basically rob them blind. Because he's just pissed off. He can't get the custody money to see his daughter, because he's separated from his wife, has a young daughter who he actually gets on really well with. Although they kind of film paints him as a bit of a sort of a deadbeat dad. He's not really a deadbeat dad. He's just like really super unorganized and not very good at this. But his brother is a one-handed bartender played by Adam Driver. Kyle Ron from that Starring Wars film thing. They got the pointy sticks that go vroom vroom. I don't know anything about it. But no, it's a really good film. I won't spoil it because I think that talking about a heist film too much, completely ruins the point in going to see a heist film.
Don't worry, I already fell asleep.
Amazing. Well, I'm gonna fall asleep by the time it comes to your talking. So hey, you better be ready, bitch.
No, it wasn't your talking. It was the movie.
No, it's a good film. It's a funny film. I think it'd be funnier. Actually, no. As an English person watching a film that is steeped in American culture, like NASCAR and stuff, it's fairly accessible. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Like if the British made a heist film and we sent it overseas, no one would get it because it's like when we do British stuff, we British it up.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
That's a thing.
People outside of here don't get it.
Yeah, they really don't. It's kind of frustrating after a while. That said, talking of British films, Kingsman is out this month. Kingsman 2.
Oh.
I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm excited to see the second.
Didn't saw the first one.
You didn't see the first one?
No, I mean I don't have so much time.
Oh no! If you get 2 hours, and Netflix, set yourself up because there's an absolute riot. It's got an all-star cast of Mark Strong, Mark Hamill. Now I'm seeing a lot of Marks in this film. Michael Caine, a lot of M beginning names. Who else is in it? Samuel L. Jackson with a lisp. That's hilarious.
You know, when you're still a kid, you have your mom telling, "Oh no, you can't watch these bad movies." Then you have the mid-period in your life when you're kind of grown up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm watching all of them." And then you get married, and you're like, "Oh no, I'm not watching that crap with you." That's where I'm right now. So
Wow. Okay, we have now preserved this quote, and it will be going on the internet. So anytime we need to make you feel bad, we're just going to play that. But no, God, Ilserwin, do you remember much of the Kingsman?
I saw it I think last year.
Yeah, no.
It was it was like a good movie.
It was a good movie. I really like it. Who was directing it? Was it
Yeah, because the thing is, it came out of nowhere.
It was yet again a comic book adaptation. But it set out to be a movie. It was by Mark Miller, who is renowned for just sort of going, right, I'm going to make a comic book now, and it's going to be absolutely off-the-wall insane. Like Nemesis, which is probably the most fucked up comic I've heard of. For those of you who know what that is and you're listening to this, you have all sort of turned to each other and nodded and gone, that's fucked up. Like, I won't spoil anything. You guys go out and read it because it's fucked up.
I'm googling it.
Oh, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
So
there's a quiet moment where everyone is. Anyway, I've done my bit.
You done your bit.
I've done my
Who's
bit.
next?
I have watched only one movie, and that was like a random Netflix suggestion. As I said, the Black Coat's Daughter, which was quite disturbing. I mean, I suggest you to watch it if you want to just look at the worst horror movie type there is out there. It was, I can't even explain. It was just bloody and disturbing in a mental way, and it was actually quite bad. Because, there's horror movies these days, it's all about jump scares, isn't it? I mean, I haven't watched a good horror movie which is like seriously disturbing in a way that makes me feel scared after watching it. Maybe because I'm old, maybe they're just bad.
Well, what's that new one that's coming out soon? It actually looks pretty freaky. It was
It?
No, not It. Oh god, not It. There's the one. It's a film. It's got the actor who played Dr. Octavius from Spider-Man 2 in it.
What?
The fuck?
What movie are you talking about?
I can't remember the name of the film, but it's basically like a couple buy a house in the middle of nowhere, and they're like, it's a really big house. They're really happy to move there, and basically a guy stays the night, and they seem to not. They don't know him, but there's sort of suspicions that this guy knows the husband. And then as time goes on, more people come staying in this house, until one point the wife finds a photo in this one of the lodger's luggage that is of a photo of the family, despite the husband's protests that he doesn't know these people, or something like that. And it gets weirder and trippier, and it turns out it's almost like he's running a cult, but there's weird psychological stuff in it. And it looks kind of good, but for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the film. All I know is that the dude who played Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2 is in it.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
Now I'm going to have to play that 6 degrees of Wikipedia where you search one thing just so you can get your final result.
Alright.
Okay.
Cool. So you should go watch Black Coat's Daughter then.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page now, actually.
But I mean, I'm truly bored about horror movies now.
You're not even going to see It?
No, I won't. I've just given up.
Oh,
Just
You
given
want to
up.
see the clown?
I've given up.
not even. What about Stranger Things? Everyone loves Stranger Things.
No, I've given
That
up.
was a movie?
Well, no, I mean they're like an hour-long episodes on Netflix.
No,
Huh.
They have like
no,
the budget
no.
of a movie.
I mean, the true horror movie is any news page.
Wow, political, but true.
So we're getting political now.
Getting political. Hey, I thought we had the Schultz rules here. No religion, no politics, or talk of the Great Pumpkin.
Great Pumpkin. You're talking about Trump.
We tried to avoid political discussions, now this happened. Why?
Oh, that's beautiful. That was beautiful.
No, this is a no limit podcast, all right? We can talk about everything we want.
Yeah, then we get flagged like the moment this gets uploaded.
Do we? I
No
don't know.
limits. Oh, don't say that, because, you know, someone will say something stupid. I'm looking at Cat.
What are you talking about?
Someone
We're
might
not going to
say
get flagged. There's a freedom of speech, isn't there? No?
That's really not how that works.
No.
We use it, but we don't know
all.
what it means.
Yeah. You like those people who upload full episodes of something, a Family Guy on YouTube, and they go, "Oh, it's uploaded under the fair use policy," or something. It's like that's not how it works. That's really not how it works at all. Kids, you just stop. Anyway, moving swift along, you were talking about that film with the coats and the daughters and a daughter of a coach.
Yeah,
Coachman's daughter.
Blackcoat's daughter, yeah. In a short, there's a girl. She gets obsessed. She cuts 3 heads. She makes a satanic ritual. She gets put in a asylum. She runs away. She finds the parents of the girl that she killed before. She cuts their heads off and she cries. All right, that's pretty much the movie.
So it's Pyramid Head's origin story by the sound of it.
Yeah. Somewhere in there, yeah, somewhere.
She's
in
got to
those
have a
lines.
lot of upper body strength to chop off a lot of heads, or is she like just she's killing them and then
No,
getting
she
them-
kills them and then cuts them off. She just
Ah.
She must be ripped by the end of the film. Then.
No, not even close. And I mean, the movie ends with the fact that she's standing in the middle of a road and crying. I'm like, what the fuck? You just killed people.
That does bum people out though.
What?
Murder.
Murder? Ah.
Murder.
What do you
Murder.
mean?
Yeah.
It is a horror movie, so
They said horror. They said horror movie, not horrible movie.
All right, Ilserwin, what have you watched?
okay. So I think the last movie I watched was like Wonder Woman, the only
Best
good
movie of the
DC
year.
film.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna just. Yeah, I love that film. That was easy.
I wish I had more time to watch movies.
That film was amazing. Sorry,
It
I'm
was.
just gonna completely fall in love with that film again. I can't wait for it to come out on DVD. Is it out on DVD yet?
I think it's on Blu-ray.
Shit, that was quiet.
Yeah, what's with DVDs? Who watches DVDs anymore?
I still have DVDs. I have DVDs all over the place. There's a lot of stuff that I watch that can't be converted to Blu-ray.
Like what?
Old
VCR.
films.
Like what?
Well, no, old films you can't upscale because of the quality of the footage they're recorded on. It's something to do with like, is it 36mm film?
But they still sell it on Blu-ray with the same quality, but they still sell it on Blu-ray.
Oh no, you can fit more on a Blu-ray disc. It's like
Yeah, I know.
Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and what is it? There's another Star Trek series. Oh no one watched Enterprise, so no one cares. But because of the quality of the film they were recorded on, they can't upscale it to Well, they can, but it's just like really, 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 really expensive. Like the money you'd put in, you wouldn't actually see a return on it. If you're actually interested in that, go check out the story of how they upscaled the Next Generation to Blu-ray, and it was an absolute nightmare because they couldn't get the negatives for the film because that's what you need to upscale it. They couldn't get hold of those anymore because I think either the age of the film or just the physical fact that no one had them anymore because no one thought, oh, we'd be upscaling this to a new and unexplored, video format. We'll definitely keep this around. So they junked it all. But the amount of effort they had to go back into it was insane, apparently. There's still a lot of things that doesn't get put onto Blu-ray, which is a little bit annoying. I'm doing that thing where I steal the podcast.
You just talk through the entire thing.
Yeah, no, that's always, that's just normal. Yeah, but the fact is, I mean, do you really want to watch an old movie being like super Blu-ray HD quality? Or do you actually watch an old movie and that's like part of it being like lower resolution stuff?
It depends.
Like, movies from what are you talking about? 1980s, 70s? What were you talking?
Well, like, actually, a good example of this is Blade Runner. I was watching that the other night, and I have a very old DVD copy of it.
Yeah.
Now, the film looks gorgeous, but the DVD is actually taken from a really bad print of the film.
Yeah.
It's really grainy, and what's worse is on a DVD, especially an older DVD, when they were still quite expensive, you didn't get them like free with a newspaper. You get a lot of compression, you get a lot of JPEGing in the dark shadows.
Yeah.
So it's like, bump that, if you could, bump that up onto HD, because God Almighty, I want to see a nice clean cut of Blade Runner, because that film is gorgeous to look at. But if it's something older that you're there more for the story rather than the visual elements of the film, then yeah, I don't mind watching it on DVD. Because of course, like I watch a lot of old Doctor Who. You can't put like old school Doctor Who onto Blu-ray. It's not going to happen. It's physically impossible. But I'm there for the story, not the visual effects, obviously, because 1960s Doctor Who was not known for its, stellar work like Chris Nolan's known for. So it's not something that I expect to, watch. So I'm happy. I'm happy with my multimedia formats.
Okay,
I did the thing where I stole the podcast again.
Yes, welcome back to Pixels Podcast.
Yeah, it's my podcast. I rule this podcast with an iron fist.
Yeah, it's me and Ilserwin. We're the guests. We're visiting the super famous Pixels Podcast.
Oh wow, that's what we're calling this now, the super famous Pixel Podcast. I like that. It's a little alliteration. The super famous Pixels Podcast. They talk about everything and ruin the show.
Oh, we're gonna get flagged now.
Yeah.
Okay, copyrights.
Copyright. No, I made that up. I'm that awesome. I just wrote that down right now.
Did you?
Yes, that's my opening title. It's the super famous Pixel Podcasts. Anyway, someone else talk.
What you been playing recently, guys?
I'll let someone else answer that one.
Let's see here. So the most recent thing I played was Never Again.
Yeah, I saw you at episode 1. I'm so proud of you scaling up the quality.
Yeah, took me about a few months to figure out how to change the quality of my videos.
Yeah, it's great now. It's great. I'm happy. Is that all you've been playing?
I play like a few games on the side when I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about...
Okay, because you just kind of put a vague question out there.
No.
So, the games I've been playing is like Arclash Legacy.
What the hell is that?
I have no idea, it was on sale.
I played the new Life is Strange.
Yeah, how was that?
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I actually got a refund on Steam. That's how bad it was. Right? I played it for 2 hours and I got a refund on Steam because I just couldn't play it anymore.
Wait, didn't they allow refunds if it was under 2 hours, or...?
It was exactly 2 hours.
Wow.
I was exactly on a mark. And I have to say, like, I think Pixels, that game is for you because from those 2 hours, I spent about an hour in a game playing one of those old school board games where you have like throw a dice, oh you smack him with a sword in the head, oh he kills you. Yeah, so
I'm here for that.
Yeah, so possibly Life is Strange Before the Storm is a game for you. Yeah, because most of the gameplay was playing that game inside of the game.
Game within a game. Inception.
Boom.
No. Okay, fair enough.
So?
I've not actually played the original Life is Strange. Is it strange as they say?
It's basically just time travel.
No, but it's good. I mean, if you like story games, I mean, have you played Walking Dead?
I played, I think, the first chapter of The Walking Dead, and I was kind of like, meh.
Seriously? Okay, Heavy
What's
Rain.
wrong with you?
Heavy Rain.
I don't have a PlayStation 3.
Well, you can get the
3.
PlayStation. What it's called? PlayStation Now. Do you know about it?
No.
You can play PlayStation games on a PC, even if your PC is not super powerful.
Okay,
And
okay.
if you don't have Canadian internet, yeah, because in Canada it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Okay,
I'm telling
is
you.
this a quick thing? But before we discuss this further, is this a legal option of playing games?
Yes, it's made by PlayStation themselves.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to check before we advocated,
No,
ROM
no.
hacking.
This is a real Sony app that they offer now. Yeah, you pay your monthly £9, and you can play any PlayStation game that they offer, as in PlayStation Now. There's quite a bit actually. It's
On a PC.
on a PC, and I'll tell you honestly, it runs super smoothly. All you need is a good internet connection.
Okay,
Well-
that sounds
Which-
fake, but okay.
No, seriously. Well, the fact is, you are streaming the game from their servers. I don't know how it works. It's quite amazing, but yeah, you stream the game from their servers, but it's like you don't feel a lag or nothing at all. It's just instant, like literally you're playing. But yeah, the game itself, you never download it. You just
Alright.
go inside and you play it. And for some mistake, I don't know how it works, but it just works.
Okay, that's kind of interesting because I did want to take a look at the new Crash Bandicoot games.
Yeah, they
Ooh.
basically, all the exclusive games, they're in there. I mean, that's amazing. And especially, I suggest you go and try Heavy Rain. I think it's one of the best games ever made.
And that's £9 a month for all of them. That's okay.
Yeah. Go check it out. PlayStation Now. Yeah. Oh, that was an advert. That's it. I'm writing them an email.
Oh my god, you've been replaced with a drone from Sony. You've been replaced. He's like a replicant.
No, I'm sending PlayStation a bill now. I mean, I'm not gonna advertise for free. Yeah. Come on.
Ilserwin, he's trying to convert us. Just back away.
Wow.
If he comes near you with a screwdriver or maybe a drill, just you know.
Off topic. Another game that I really have fallen in love now. All right.
Is it a Sony game?
No, it's not. All right. And Silence. I've been looking at this game and thought, like, how the fuck can this be so famous? All right.
What is
I'm
it?
so into it now. So, it's Hearthstone.
Are you fucking serious?
You monster.
I fucking love it. I don't know why. I fucking love it. It's like old Yu-Gi-Oh games reimagined, but it's good.
Hang on. All the Yu-Gi-Oh games, but good. That seems like a contradiction in terms.
Alright, I wouldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh now, alright?
Now, he admits to being some sort of Yu-Gi-Oh freak in the past. God,
I love them. I love them in the past. I loved most of their games in the past, yeah.
Ilserwin,
What?
back away slowly. Just don't make eye contact.
What's so wrong about that? Have you
Dude, I have some Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were cool when we were kids.
No, I meant the Hearthstone stuff.
Oh, okay.
Alright. So what's wrong with Hearthstone? Alright, I used to play World of Warcraft, so...
Hang on,
I mean,
let me get my list here. No, I can't rustle a piece of paper. I was going to make a joke where you go, here we go. Here's my list. There's about 500 items here. I'll read from the top. No, I kid. You can like whatever you like.
Have you played
You
Hearthstone?
really can't. Sorry?
Have you played it?
Nope, I'm
think
not
a
into
very
card
little
games
bit.
anymore.
I think I played a little bit, but like card games in a game, as a virtual game to play, just they seem like they're defeating the purpose. Like,
Yeah, I
go
mean-
and play an actual card game.
I'm not. It's not like the main game I play on a PC. It's like my free time game. It's like if I'm doing something like rendering or doing something, I play Hearthstone. It's just there. It's quickly there. And the best part, I have it on my phone as well. The same game.
You've been
That's
taken
a-
over
that's-
by Hearthstone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it Sony or Hearthstone that you're, slowly being converted by?
Both of them. I'm creating an invoice now.
Okay, now it's my turn to fall asleep.
Go on. What's your advertisement of the week?
What's my advertisement? Jesus, what game have I been playing that I've actually been enjoying? I've had one of those like last couple of weeks where I've just been looking at my Steam library, going, like I've been trying to play Sniper Elite 3.
How'd that go?
I don't know. Like there's something just not as fun as the other two Sniper Elite games, but I can't think what it is. I think it's more the fact that they've made it open world. More open world-ish in the desert, which...
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what pulled me off of it.
Yeah, I don't know, it's like... I don't know, maybe because it's in the streets, it feels more like you're going to be a proper sniper, open out in the desert on level terrain, the fact that there's no good hiding spots.
Okay.
Exactly. You made a sniper game in an open field, which is just nonsense.
It's trying to be a stealth game where you're painted luminous green. It's not really. It's not two things. Like, you could do if they focus more upon a stealth aspect, like almost like an MGS style thing. Maybe they have, and I'm just not been paying attention. But it's been very difficult for me to get into. I have been playing Subsurface Circular for like I think about an hour not too long ago, and I've fallen in love with that game. It's sort of like a detective mystery where you're a robot investigating other robot disappearances.
That game! I've seen it on Steam.
Yeah, I've got my first video of it on thing. I'm doing a fresh play. I'm doing a blind play of it. So I'm going to be going through it, and I have absolutely no idea how it ends, what characters are in it. So I've been going through it, kind of just like, okay, this is what's happening. This is what happened. We're going through. And I want to sort of see more of it. The only problem is, of course, it's a mystery. It's a mystery video game, which always makes you feel like, well, you've dropped a lot of money on it, and there's only one real ending to it. If you know what I mean.
No.
Well, no, like it's a murder mystery. I mean, the real story is you working out who the killer is, and then when you've finished it, there's very little replay value, which I'm kind of a little bit maybe this game will have. I'm wondering because, like, one of the big things about this game is that you're basically a robot that's confined to like a huge subway train. Like something, I think it's almost like something from Snowpiercer. It's just doing this big circular line for all the droids that have to get off and on for their jobs. And the idea is that you have a certain amount of time. I think it's like between one station and another is a fixed amount of time, and you have to get as much information out of each robot as you can before they hit the other station. Otherwise, you kind of like, you're basically a question. It's like the questioning sequences from LA Noire, but with a time limit.
LA Noire was the best detective game I ever played.
I have it, and I haven't played that much of it.
I haven't finished it because it's just so long. I mean, I have to tell you.
Yeah, it is.
It is darn long, and I mean, I find it so hard to stay interested in a game for so long. So there's so many games I've played, but I haven't finished, and LA Noire is one of them because I just can't play a game for so long.
That is the problem now. It's like it used to be that we'd all demand like 12-hour long games. Back when things were coming out, and we were thinking, 12-hour long games, that'll keep me going forever. And it's now we're sitting down and going, could I just have a game that takes 2 hours to run? That would be lovely. Because going back, Portal, the first Portal game was only about 2 hours long, wasn't it?
But still,
and you're thinking that was the perfect length of a game.
Yeah, it was. But no, it quite was. If they would have made more parts for it, I'll tell you that. I mean, I'm much rather have like Portal 2, the first wave, Portal 2, Second Blood, whatever you call them, it doesn't matter. I'd much rather have the game in the different parts, but like each part being 2 hours, than one massive game of 12 hours, which I will never finish. I know that.
Yeah, it's more of a nice way of doing it. I think that's what Valve wanted to do with the Half-Life games. Sell them as parts and episodic rather than just not selling them at all. Or making them at all, as it now seems they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not bitter.
Everyone's kind of butthurt about Half-Life 3 not being released, so...
Yeah. It looks like someone's actually going to be making a fan-made Half-Life 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not the biggest fan of fan-made parts.
Here's the thing. Like, when fans get together to make something for Half-Life, they do it really well. Have you seen Black Mesa Source?
No.
That was amazing. That was like pretty much a faithful and nicely sort of well-adjusted remake of the first Half-Life game that cut out a lot of stupid stuff, added more good stuff, and was an amazing visual overhaul for the game as well. and it was amazing. I think it was basically the whole first game. I don't know who's working on this part 3 fan game.
You know what is my problem about fan-made games, the third part, whatever. All right, there's a lot of attempts for fan to make a fan-made part. All right, and then when they're almost done, all right, the company who originally made it are like, oh fuck this, no, it's real, it's happening, so we're gonna send them a letter saying this is not happening and cancel the project. No, but seriously, there are. I mean, I have looked for so many. I mean, there's been so many great minds who looked at, like, for an example, a lot of PlayStation original games. I mean, we look at the ports that a lot of makers themselves make, like Black Flag, for an instance, all right, Assassin's Creed. It was horrible. All right, it run like I don't know what. You had to have a super PC when it came out just to run it. All right, and then we look at a lot of fan-made games. Yeah, I've seen a couple of PlayStation games made by fans, and they run perfectly fine. All right, they run like they would be made for PC. But yeah,
there was the Battlefront. Someone made. Someone had a look at the original assets, which were going to be in Battlefront 3, the Star Wars game. The one that boasted saying, you know, look, we're going to have space-to-surface combat, and they actually built a working model.
Yeah.
It was a demonstration of a ship being able to fly from the surface of a... It was all very low resolution. It was very unpolished.
Yeah.
It was only a group of people doing this as a fan thing. And then, of course, EA, being the massive dicks that they are, did just march in with a cease and desist order.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The thing is, it just depends on the company. Like, EA are massive dicks, they own the IP rights to Star Wars, which is, well, they don't own the IP rights, they own the game IP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is one of the biggest franchises on Earth. The thing is about Valve, however, when it comes to their fan works of their stuff, is that you kind of forget that that's how a lot of Valve stuff got its existence, was through fan created stuff. Counter-Strike. Team Fortress 2 was a fan-based project. A lot of assets from later Half-Life spin-off games like Blue Shift and the two-player Half-Life game. I think they were built on kind of like fan concepts. So I think it would be very hypocritical for for Valve to just storm in and say, well, you can't make a Half-Life 3 because, you know, we're not making one, but you can't make one. It would be deemed very hypocritical of them to do something like that. And they seem pretty chill on the subject. Like, they don't mind modders. They're not like Nintendo or EA or other companies that have a very strict policy against modding. Valve are fairly open to it. They'll sort of laugh and wink at the idea of, yeah, you know, you're making a Half-Life 3 game and we're not. Valve's actually, their biggest sin right now is making Team Fortress worse than it actually is, or when it actually started. I don't know if you've read this article on Kotaku.
I have not.
No.
Team Fortress is now running at a worse FPS and a worse graphical quality than when it was first released.
Wow.
And that was, if I ask the magic box in front of me, Trust 2 release dates. Okay, that was in 2007, so it's a 10-year-old game and actually looks worse now than it did 10 years ago, all because Valve have been patching it to hell to try and make it work better. Because, of course, people have got all these sort of game-breaking stuff and all these hats and stuff that have been patched on constantly to make the game run better. It's taken massive graphical hits, like you've literally just poured tequila into your eyes. And yeah, it's not particularly great anymore. Hence why everyone has just moved to Overwatch.
Not me. Thank you, but no.
Overwatch is amazing. Shush.
Hearthstone is amazing. Shush.
They're both made by Blizzard, aren't they?
No, are they?
This
Oh yeah.
This podcast has been brought to you by both Blizzard, Half-Life, and Sony. We're basically whoring ourselves out for money now. I mean, like, we're gonna get Ilserwin on a poll later, and we're just gonna like have CEOs just throw money at him later. It's fine. We know what we're doing. That's some nervous laughter right there.
So it's my turn to advertise a game, or?
Yes,
yeah, you can go ahead. I mean, what do you want?
Okay, so obviously I'm gonna talk about Warhammer 40k because so far
Oh,
it's my
Jesus
favorite game. Like, Catsewage gets to talk about, like, Hearthstone, so it's only fair, right?
True.
It is fair considering the amount of times I see a Steam pop-up saying, "Oh, Ilserwin's playing Warhammer. Ilserwin's playing Warhammer again. He's playing a different part this time, but he's still playing Warhammer."
Well, after,
So,
like, Dawn
go
of War
ahead.
3, it kind of went downhill.
Question:
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there any hammers in the game?
Surprisingly, yes.
Okay. Are there 40,000 of them? Is this like a 99 red balloons situation?
Okay, so... so basically, 40k takes place in, like, the 41st millennium, so I don't know why it says 40k on it.
Good
This game
point.
0 out of 10 on the Metacritic scale. And this game is a flop. Why are we even contemplating this?
So, the thing I like about Warhammer is that it somehow combines sci-fi and fantasy. So,
What
like,
is
there's
it?
that universe.
Oh
What
yeah,
even-
I'm
what
sort
even
of
is it?
vaguely. It started out as it's almost like D&D. It was a tabletop.
Yeah, it was.
Game. It
Yeah.
was. It still is, but it's just it's bloody expensive. I
saw some of the
used-
pieces for it. Like,
I used
134.
I used to play. I think it was Dark Eldar.
Ooh.
Years and years ago. I had a set of Dark Eldar stuff. I even have some Lord of the Rings stuff. I have a cave troll somewhere. like a little. Do you remember Warhammer did the Lord of the Rings stuff?
Oh, you mean like the Age of Sigmar?
Yeah, I have a cave troll somewhere. He's one-armed because the bloody model. Hey, there he is. He's absolutely terrible, but I painted him, and he's a lovely little dude. Except his arm kept falling off because he's shit. I need to fix that. But no, I'm sort of vaguely familiar with the lore. It's kind of cool. But
I have memorized the entire lore. That's how much of a fan I am.
What?
Anyway,
Just that silence.
no. So what is the premise actually? Because I mean, there are a lot of stories in Warhammer.
You
So
sure you want
all
the
going on.
entire lore?
No, just this game, please, dear God.
What, Dawn of War 2?
Yeah, Dawn of War 2. We'll just go with that story.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently, according to what I know, you're a new commander of this chapter known as the Blood Ravens. You were originally supposed to fight off this orc invasion on like your homeworld, but then it slowly turned into like a Tyranid invasion. So like, what Tyranids are basically like these giant bugs that eat everything.
Are kind of Zergy, aren't they?
Yeah. No, they're more like aliens from Ridley Scott.
I'm literally googling as we go along. Oh yeah, they've got a. Oh cool, yeah, they got like stabby bits on them. I like them.
Yeah, so it turned into that. Then most of the story is just like you trying to prevent this Tyranid invasion from happening. And don't get me started on the DLC.
Is there
No.
lots?
So what was it? There was like one DLC they released for it, and the more I played it, the more I realized it didn't make any sense, cause for some reason they had a tutorial in it.
What?
There's a tutorial in DLC.
Okay.
I don't understand why they needed to add that.
Did the game have like a massive difficulty curve?
Okay, so it went from easy to normal to hard. Then there's Primarch.
What?
What? The shopping centre?
So what a Primarch is basically a demigod.
We know what Primarch is.
It's a shop where you get all these really nice discount clothing. Okay, there may be some cultural confusion here. Like in the UK, Primark is like this huge sort of shop. It's a chain of shops where you can buy like really fancy but cheap-looking clothes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
confusing.
20 minutes of buying them.
That's confusing
don't
as hell.
I don't know what Primark is over there then.
Yeah.
So in the 40k
What is Primarch in Canada?
Canada.
So in Canada, a Primarch, for those who've played 40k, is basically a demigod.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. A Primarch. Does he have like a really nice jumper that actually falls apart? 'Cause that's
Wow.
I think the only decent thing from Primark are the jeans. They're nice jeans.
Yes, the gene seeds for all space marines.
I'm just picturing now hipster Space Marines trying to fit like a waistcoat over those huge power suits. Those things are like 8 feet tall, aren't they? They're ridiculous.
Yeah, they're like around. I think they're like 7 feet. Because I know the Primarch's like 9 feet over. Yeah.
I did like the aesthetic of the game series, the tabletops games. I never got into it though, primarily because one they kept changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was really interested in Necrons when I first saw them when I was trying to get into it, and they were like the Terminator.
Yeah.
You could basically shoot them apart, and they could still crawl along the ground. You could shoot off their legs and arms, and so. I think the other one was the Tau. I was really just there for the aesthetic, I think.
You better be.
Why? I don't remember. I don't remember much. Like all I remember is the Tau just looked awesome. Although I think they were like terrible at close range or something like that.
Yeah, apparently that's their thing. Like they fight for this vague purpose. They are shit at close range because apparently they see it as a savage way of combat. And
fair. To be fair though, most people in the sort of the 40k universe, they look like they could crush your head with your bare hands. So the fact that you could stay far away from them as possible and shoot them seems like the better option.
Because the theme for 40k was supposed to be like you're in this universe where there's nothing but war. So melee is a decent option if you're down to it.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm sure they've probably changed the rules again so that Tower they have like swords for hands or something ridiculous. I don't know.
I think for 40k, for the codexes, they changed not much for the Tau, just like the Space Marines, because now apparently there's these Snowflake Marines everyone's talking about. Known as like...
Are they special Snowflake Marines?
So, for their lore, basically for these Snowflake Marines, they're basically super soldiers of super soldiers. That's their thing.
Okay.
So I don't know...
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say. So if you put like Chris Evans on even more steroids.
Yeah, that's basically these Snowflake Marines.
Yikes.
127 hours.
Yeah.
You spent in that game.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Actually, quick question. What is the most time you've ever spent in a Steam game?
408 hours he spent on Team Fortress 2.
That's for grinding for weapons, though.
Wow. I suppose you have to, though, in that game, because the weapons are so massively unbalanced now, aren't they?
Yeah, because, like, what was it? Before they had this drop system where, like, there's a chance you get a good weapon for a class you don't play as, but I was only playing it for, like, the crate, so I went to this idle server, like, basically servers that are made specifically to get items. So I just kind of left my laptop running while I was on an idle server for, like, 2 hours.
2 hours is nothing for your 400, what was 8 hours?
408 hours, I think? Well, let me check.
Wow. Yeah, I was in your Steam profile, don't worry. Don't worry.
I think the most I've spent is 328 hours in Space Engineers.
Yes, exactly.
That's still pretty shameful.
Where's Team Fortress?
Well,
yeah, 408 hours.
Yeah, your second place is Faster Than Light. 303 hours.
Oh, is where's Faster Than I forgot about that one.
303 hours, yeah. But it
303
was a good game.
hours. Jesus, FTL is an amazing game. I'm probably gonna have to go back and look at Captain's Edition for that one for a Let's Play.
Oh yeah. Fallout 4, 186 hours.
Not that much.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a lot. For Fallout 4, it's actually quite a lot.
Dude, you were sucked into that game.
Yeah.
185 hours.
Damn, that's a lot.
To be fair, a lot of it is a lot of that was me futzing around with mods trying to get them to work properly.
Yeah, I know. We all spend 100 hours in a game to try and get them all.
No, a good maybe 5 of those hours.
5. It doesn't change.
5, maybe 7 hours was spread over a couple of weeks trying to get that TARDIS mod to work. Because like having to start the game afresh so I could test the mod, because the mod wouldn't work on an already existing save. So I had to start the game again, but you've got all that sort of like that prologue sequence. That's a good sort of like, even if you rush it, that's still 40 minutes. And you got to do that over, well, it's not 40 minutes, maybe half an hour?
Alright, I have a question to Ilserwin.
Yo.
Alright? How did you manage to spend 92 hours in a Transformers game? They were all terrible.
Okay, so hey, like War for Cybertron was not that bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's robots
sorry.
punching each other.
66 hours in a Transformers Fall of Cybertron.
Cybertron?
I tell you honestly, I have no clue about Transformers. I saw the first and second movie, I think.
Was it by Michael Bay?
I don't know.
Well, there's your first problem.
You saw Michael Bay's movies. So basically, why I spent so long in Transformers was I found out there were collectibles.
Really?
Yeah, like in War for Cybertron there were collectibles, and I wanted to 100% it. Then for Fall of Cybertron, I found out there were achievements. Yeah. That's where all the hours went into. Why's my leg tilted?
Lego The Lord of the Rings, 42 hours.
That was
Oh,
fun.
come on, the Lego games are golden though.
No, they're alright.
Like-
But the only thing is, they all pretty much the same. I mean, I get so pissed off of collecting those bits. And
Well, the thing is, it's less about playing all of them and more about having the same consistent humor in a fandom or film series that you like.
I know. It's just once you played fully one of them, you don't want to play the others. It's all about smashing everything that you see and collecting the bits.
Yeah, the combat is pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, difficulty 0.
I think the game I've played the least might be Mirror's Edge, which is annoying because I really like that game.
It's parkour, man. How could you not like it?
It's good.
Oh no,
It's good.
I really like the game. I just haven't played that much of it. I'm not sure why. I think it was just I downloaded it or I got gifted it, and I just never. Oh no, it was Remember Me that I was gifted.
Oh yeah, I was gifted Remember Me as well.
Remember Me is good. It even has a Monty Python joke in it, so you know there's some quality work in that. It's a very hard to find Easter egg when you're digging through someone's memories. You've got to fiddle with a machine in the corner of the room, and it gives you the don't forget the machine that goes ping.
You spent only 2.9 hours in LA Noire.
Yeah, I burned through it pretty quickly, but it's just I think I've just got stuck at a bit, and I've sort of I think it was one of those murder mysteries that just sort of you spent ages having to hammer all of the questions, and if you get it wrong, you start all over again. So it's like, okay, start again, and you got to hammer all through all those questions, and then you get one wrong, and then you start again. I was so tired out from that.
What do you mean? What do you mean you start again?
No, it's like if you screw up an interview, you have to leave and you have to start the interview all over again.
At the start, you didn't got
at the start.
You didn't got past the beginning, because the fact is, after you get past the beginning, if you screw up an interview, you're screwed. All right, that's it. You're screwed. You get demoted. All right, you're back on the streets. You're not a detective anymore. That's the whole thing about the game. It's so cool, actually. You know.
Well, I think I've gotten past. Well, I got past the one about the guy who faked the jewelry store robbery or something.
Yeah,
I've done that one. I can't remember how much further I got after that.
Oh, I got far.
You got far.
I love that game.
Deus Ex Human Revolution. Oh no, it's launching it. Shit.
What?
Shit.
How did you? Why did you spend 5.4 hours in Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon?
Because it's a very short game. You can finish that in such a short time.
Wow.
It was terrible.
It's great.
It was
it's great fun.
terrible.
No, Blood Dragon was
bad.
great. No, it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's a silly little, like, collectathon game. You go around liberating base camps. That was like my second video. I'm getting nostalgia now.
Oh. No, not Blood Dragon. No.
I'm needing to find everyone else's Steam profile because I'm not on Friends. I need to go for Friends.
What?
No, because I'm looking at mine. I'm not looking at.
How do you see your own profile? Oh.
No, because you just go through my Steam games, and I'm just looking at the time I've spent on them.
Teddy Floppy Ear, I spent 0.8 hours on it.
You spent 0.8 hours on Dota 2.
Yeah, I tried it. Oh my god, I spent 133 hours on Gary's mod. That's my top game.
28 hours for Civilization, wow.
Oh, I love Civilization. What is Rec Room?
The fuck?
What the hell is that? I spent 15
Why do you
hours
have
on it.
that?
I have no clue what is that.
Isn't that like VR?
What is that? I don't have a VR, that's the thing.
What?
Alright, I never played this game.
It says you played it for 15 hours.
I never had this game. Okay, this makes me scared about my profile.
Tower Unite, less than an hour.
I have it in my library? What the hell
Pain
is
Train,
this?
Pain Apocalypse.
What the hell is this?
Well, we're not even talking about topics anymore. We're just on each other's Steam page looking at the games.
Yeah, I know. This is another advertisement. Steam. Here we go. What do
Hang
you
on, no,
thi-
sorry.
What,
I have to ask the question. Pain Train, Pain Apocalypse.
what is that?
It's on your Steam. It's one of your games.
Oh my god, what are you talking? Where is that? I mean, I have quite a few games from the random Steam keys. Because I like to buy sometimes random. Well, I used to like buy random Steam keys from G2A. But I mean, you got so much crap from it. I tell you
You have
that.
so much crap in your Steam.
I have.
library.
I
It's
have
amazing.
Okay, well, when I check out my library, all right, I have a separate list of games under shite, all right, and that's most of my Steam library, all right.
You have 41 games in your library.
Yeah, 43. No,
Why does it say 41?
43. I have 43. I don't know. It says 43 for me.
Ooh, this one looks cool.
What?
1953.
I got it from random Steam keys.
Red of Secret. Oh, I'd like to see a Let's Play of this. This looks like some sort of weird psychological horror. Play that.
I have no clue what
Wait,
is
which?
that. What? Still page. Let me check out what is that.
1953, KGB Unleashed.
Oh yeah, I actually.
Oh, this.
I wanted to try it. Yeah, I wanted to try it. Yeah. I saw it. It seemed like it might actually be fun.
Okay, those in the comment section below, say yes or no if you want to see Cat actually play this. Because I say yes. I say definitely yes.
It has a mixed rating.
Yeah, it has
Even
mixed
more
rating. Even more fun. No, I might try it. It's not too bad. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. What do you think about recent game releases? All right, what do you think is good from the games released in the last month? All right, name me one game.
Do we have to have played it?
No, just seen it.
Sonic Mania.
So okay, well,
Yeah, it brings back good old nostalgia.
No, the thing is, Sonic Mania was made by fans, and this is really important because name me one memorable Sonic game from the last 5 to 10 years.
can't
06.
can't name you one from
Okay,
the last 100
good,
years.
good memorable. I should have said good memorable Sonic game.
Okay then. Yeah, no.
No, not last
Yeah.
50 years. No, I can't remember one.
No, it's not. It's not. It's like this is what the devs behind it got, because the devs were all fans. They knew what fans wanted and how to make a game for them, rather than Sega or whichever studio Sega had just sort of hired out for that weekend to make a Sonic game actually knew what they wanted. You know what I mean? They when fans make a game, there are two outcomes. Either it's pretty self-serving and meh, or it's a love letter. And from what I've seen, especially in the behind-the-scenes work, there has been a lot of really carefully crafted tributes to either sort of memes, humor, or even past modders who have done stuff for Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and it all seems very, very rich, and I quite like it. So, while I've only sort of read or seen stuff for Sonic Mania, I definitely think this is the game of the month, which seems a bit unfair because it's just come out. It's like it was the beginning of the month, wasn't it? So I'll say that's my sort of within the last few weeks, within my last sort of relevant time span.
You
game.
could never sell me Sonic games. Not a single one.
Seriously?
No, not a single one.
Sure, they went downhill after like a few years, but
After the
still-
death of the Dreamcast? Yeah.
yeah.
Although, isn't Sega actually looking to make another console?
Oh no!
What?
No, they failed last time. No.
I say let them try it. I say let them try it. There's no harm in doing it. I mean, they seem to be a pretty stable company, and they've learned from their mistakes. So
We already have a shitty console in the market called Nintendo.
wow.
We don't need another one.
Wow.
You'll realize that the Switch is actually doing remarkably well right now.
Alright, it's quite
it is.
cool. I have to agree, it's quite cool. But then again, can you please let me know? Because the game was like in the trailer, it showed like young adults around. They looked about 20-ish. All right. Can you name me one young adult who's gonna be like, oh, here you go. I brought my controller. Here you go on controller. Let's look at this small screen and let's play together now on top of the roof. All right.
Yeah, that's BS. But I will admit that no one can do this because Nintendo aren't making enough to actually, so people can do that. Like that's the problem right now in Japan. It's like there's a shortage of them, isn't there?
There is.
Well, I tell you honestly, Japan market is like a completely different world. All right. if you check out the Steam's new releases, half of them are like games from Japan market. All right. Some weird Japanese games out there. And
Oh yeah, it's more the fact that it's surprising that a console produced in Japan is having supply shortages in the country they're making them.
I think they have a lot of 5-year-olds who would love Nintendo.
Yeah, well, it was made as a family console. I'm hyped for the fact that we're getting 2 new Metroid games actually.
A family console in a way of, oh, let's buy this for the kids so that they would leave me alone. Yeah.
Are you a little bitter?
No, I'm not bitter. No, I'm
he's
not bitter. No.
You sound salty.
It's a little bit of salty. Like Atlantic Ocean.
Okay. Explain me why Nintendo. All right, I give you 2 minutes, both of you.
This
sell
is more
me
of a
Nintendo.
philosophical question.
Sell me
Why?
Nintendo. Sell me Nintendo.
Oh, you see, Nintendo has a history of being a family-friendly game.
How is that a selling point?
I don't know what I just said either.
How is that a
The
selling
company is
point?
the game. Is that how they do the speak in CANNANADA?
Yes.
I say Nintendo are a strong competitor for being a family-friendly games developer and console producer because they kind of look at a very broad market, especially the fact that they produce good handheld devices.
When you
as well as...
when you tell me family friendly, you mean just for kids?
No, like, for like parents and kids.
I think the thing is, like, right now, a lot of parents are actually going through that sort of young nostalgia, which is why, more older people are buying Pokemon games than younger people. I mean, it's especially sort of growing market is to have people of an older generation looking at almost younger-led games, but not necessarily games meant for younger people. They're just sort of abstract and open. It's why, like, cartoons. Adults still watch cartoons. Like this is just a thing.
Rick and Morty. Yeah,
Rick
sure.
and... Okay, but you've got adult-themed cartoons, or you have just cartoons with themes that are more accessible to both adults and kids, like, say, Steven Universe or Adventure Time. They're made for both audiences.
No.
What are you talking about?
Not Adventure Time. No.
No, Adventure Time is meant for both kids. I'd say kids and adults.
No. They're not. It's made for neither.
What?
Was it made for dogs or something?
Yeah, when you leave them home alone.
Wow. Hey, that series won an Emmy. What have you done?
So you're telling me that Nintendo is good only for old grannies loving Pokemon games?
No part of that sentence is what I said, but
No, that's what you said. Old people buy a lot of Pokemon games. That's
I
what
said
you told
older
me.
generations who were going for nostalgia of their childhoods. That was pretty much implicit that it's what my generation and maybe slightly older than my generation are looking at, as well as being also accessible to kids. That's what I was aiming for.
Well, okay, so I was... Well, okay, I had to recap my question. I was more talking about the Wii U, alright?
No one gives a fuck about the Wii U.
Oh, here we go.
The Nintendo Switch, yeah. The Wii U was a failed experiment which eventually turned into the Switch. Like
Well,
Nintendo have
yeah.
the obvious. Nintendo has an obvious lineage of experimenting. You know, it's kind of like a Star Trek film.
Okay, I thought
you
the
look at
Switch
what-
and Wii U is the same thing. Sorry, so
It's-
I'm talking about both Wii U and the Switch.
No. Nintendo products are like Star Trek films. You know, you get a good one. Well, no, you get a bad one, then you get a good one, then you get a good one. It's sort of like that alternation. Kind of a similar thing is going on with Nintendo products in a way. You've got stuff like you had the what was it, like the Game Boy Advance, then you had the Game Boy SP, which no one bought. Then you had the DS, which everyone bought. Then you had the 3DS. Then you had the 2DS, which no one bought because there's literally no reason to own a 2DS because it's actually a downgrade. But everyone got the 3DS, and then you've got the Wii U. Then you've got the Wii. Everyone bought the Wii. It was a great idea. And then the Wii U came out, and no one bought that because it was kind of a cumbersome concept. But then everyone got the Switch because that was them taking the Wii U concept and refining it and making it better and putting some smart people in charge of the development. And there we have it. Then you sort of got this. Nintendo have a big. Their biggest draw is their experimentation. Like they will genuinely go out and say, "Is this wacky? Is this fun? Will it appeal to people? Will it get people talking? Will it be memorable? Will it be interesting?" And then they'll go out and do it, which. Let's say one thing for Sony and Microsoft. Their biggest console variations are this one has an inbuilt hard drive, this one doesn't have an inbuilt hard drive, this one looks like Minecraft. That's their selling points right now. They're not exactly wowing me with what they're doing on a scale of
No, they're not.
experimentation.
No. So
And that's what.
I mean, at least I think Sony and even shitty Microsoft, they're making money because apparently I googled. Nintendo made an operating loss of 5.13 billion yen in the first quarter of its 2016 Wii U sales. Good job.
Yeah, like I said, the Wii U isn't perfect, and I will be the first to get up on stage and say, look, it's not great. And Shigeru Iwata, before he passed away, the then head of development at Nintendo, was like, yeah, we screwed up. It's not good. He took a massive paycheck cut to subsidize sort of the losses. And he even said, we're going to work on something new. And I think the Switch is going to be the thing that, puts Nintendo back on the map and maybe puts them in the right path. I don't know who, after Shigeru Iwata passed away, who has taken over head of development of that sort of stuff and what they'll be doing for their next console.
I see what Nintendo should be doing. They made more money from Pokemon Go than they ever made from Nintendo consoles.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is, though, Nintendo don't own Pokemon. They distribute it, but it's actually made by Game Freak. Although, I don't know if Game Freak has just been absorbed into Nintendo at this point.
Yeah, they earned from licensing fees. Yeah,
It's mostly from licensing fees.
Yeah.
But Nintendo's strength is their handhelds. Like, with the exception of maybe the SP, which no one bought because of its untimely release date. Like, name me a bad Nintendo handheld.
Any DS.
What?
The DS was a revolution. Like, it was the biggest turnaround.
Okay, one thing I don't understand about the whole DS thing, alright? So it's basically you having another mobile device with you, with worse graphics than your smartphone can actually give you these days, alright? And for some reason, it is still cool.
Well, for a start, the DS was a thing before smartphones were really pushing the grade to be gaming devices.
Back in then, I understand. Well, okay, I don't understand because when DS came out, the PSP came out, and PSP at the start, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, but the problem is with the PSP, the battery life was like 2 hours.
Yeah, it was poor. But then again, compare the graphics. I mean, it was completely different world. You were actually bringing your console-like games with you. All right, not your Nokia 3310 type of a games with a color screen with you.
Wow. Okay, we're going there. But no, the idea behind that is Nintendo have always had a philosophy of never pushing for the extreme on graphics and stuff because that actually means you have to make newer and more expensive parts, meaning you drive up the price of your devices, meaning you drive up the prices of production, meaning ultimately you're not going to be making back as much money as you were when you started out production. So I believe, and don't quote me verbatim for this because this is what I've just read and understood from interviews and stuff, is the idea behind it is don't make it bleeding edge, make it, cutting edge. That way you still make money back from this venture. This is why a lot of their stuff isn't, like ultra 4K HD uber duper graphics. It's very decent. It's dependable.
All right. So we
And also,
basically,
the cartridge restrictions on one of those devices is pretty limited, unlike a micro disc. But the change around is a disc uses a motor, which uses read time, which uses a battery time, as a single solid state card, easier to read.
So we're talking about Nintendo being the gap in the market for poor people.
I would say it's being more accessible. Like, their consoles are cheaper.
I think that's where they're gonna lose the game. All right. So I read a recent article about computers. All right. So apparently the sales in a low-end computers, they have dropped dramatically. People don't buy low-end computers anymore. All right. And
It's because of the requirements.
No. Do you know why? Because people don't need an everyday use computer at home. They have tablets. All right. And I think that's where Nintendo is going to lose the game, because you can play so many better games on tablet that you can play on your Nintendo Wii. All right.
Well, you mean Switch?
Whatever. I don't know. Whatever it's called. Nintendo Switch off. Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Wow.
But the fact is that the sales, all right, in the most expensive part for computers have risen so badly that that's all they're making now. All right, that's why Intel released the i9 processor. All right, because
that's the thing. That's appealing to two different kinds of markets, though. You're appealing to PC gamers, which are always going to be one step ahead. They're always going to be people who sink a lot of money into a new rig every 6 months. Whereas a console game is a console game is an entirely different field that you're operating in, because a console game is going to be like, right, a company gets a dev kit for a game and they say, right, you're making it to these constraints. On you go. PC gamers, of course, PC released games, they're a slightly different blend. Of course, when you're porting a game, it's going to be, such and such stats. But Nintendo mostly do Nintendo exclusive titles anyway. So it's not like they are competing, but they're competing in sort of there's a bit of overlap in what they're doing, but not a complete, not a complete. There's only partial overlap in what they're doing, not a complete overlap. But anyway, we are really going off topic. And
what do you mean off topic? It's an open topic.
Is Ilserwin still alive?
Oh yeah.
I've been sitting in the middle of a flame war this entire time.
Tell me what you think.
I don't want to pick sides. I don't want to pick sides right now.
Pick a side.
The correct answer is Obsidian Pixels.
Pick a side now.
Can't I just stay neutral throughout this?
Pick a side now.
You cannot be Switzerland. You have to pick a side.
Wait one second. Let me find a coin.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
I call the side that wins.
Okay, I found a bottle cap that's close enough.
Alright,
it's not.
Cool. No, yeah, it's not. It's against physics. No. Which side is gonna drop most likely? Oh bloody hell!
I don't know actually.
I'm bad at physics.
Okay, pick a side. I'm flipping it.
No, find a coin. It's cheating.
Here, I have a coin. I'll call it.
I don't believe you. I have a coin.
What have I started?
Coin war.
I have a mini disc.
Yeah, flip that. That'll work. Put it in your PSP if you love it so much.
Alright, PSP didn't use mini discs, alright?
It did. PSP used mini discs.
No, they didn't use mini discs. It was called.
Okay, I'm gonna actually find a coin real quick.
Find a coin. We're starting a war again.
Go find real Canadian dollars. Oh no, wait, you can't, because a Canadian dollar's like a maple leaf. You can't flip that. Okay, well, Il gets a coin to prove that I'm right.
Yeah, sure.
We've kind of gone off topic. Well, it's open topic, but we've strayed into bare knuckle fighting.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I like Nintendo because of my long history with it. You like Sony because you're literally being paid by the minute to.
Because I love Sony's exclusive games. All right, there are games.
Basically, he's being paid to suck Sony's dick at this point. It's very obvious, people.
Okay. Do you own VU or V Switch Off or whatever it's called?
I currently do not own a Switch.
All right, that's good.
And there's a reason for that. It's just because I don't have the space or money for one.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know you have money, but can you name me one game that's exclusive for Nintendo which would make you go if you would have money, which would make you go and buy Nintendo?
Breath of the Wild.
What is that?
It's the Legend of Zelda
You ever
game
heard
that
of it?
everyone's. It was the release title that was the reason why this console was selling so well. There's also the new Star Fox game that's going to be coming out for it.
Okay, can you seriously tell me that it looks better than any Last of Us games or Uncharted games?
Well, it's a stylized adventure game, so I can't say.
Can you tell me it's better?
I can't because I've not played it. It's not like you're saying, oh, that console you haven't got. Would you say that game plays better than all the other games you've not played? It's like, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. Did you find a coin? Did you find a coin?
Yeah, please tell me you found a coin.
Yes, I found a flat object. It's close enough.
Oh.
Okay, so you guys gonna pick a side or?
Heads.
Yeah, he takes heads. Yeah, okay, go, throw it.
Okay. Shit.
I'm just dropping it.
Come on, we're waiting on you.
Okay, it's gone.
Oh Jesus!
Oh come on!
Did it just drop into the negative zone?
I don't know where it went.
Oh Jesus Christ! Okay, you know what? I'm gonna find a virtual coin tossing thing. Hang on.
Wait. Well, we're not gonna see it. It doesn't work that way.
No, I'm gonna. I'm gonna send this to you, Ilserwin,
Alright.
and you can just.
That works.
Okay.
That works.
Here.
Go.
You are a spade. Here. Use this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, one sec. I'm opening the page. Okay. What the hell is this?
Go. Canadian penny. There's a Canadian 1 cent penny at the bottom of it. Can you see it?
What the fuck? Great British pound?
Just go to see.
Fuck it, US penny. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about penny.
Okay, so flip one virtual coin, one US penny. Okay, so who is heads and who is tails again?
I was heads.
Yeah, he's heads. Yeah.
Okay, flipping. It's heads.
Yes! Cat just exploded.
Cat.
Is Cat still alive? I think we killed him.
Oh no.
Okay, well, we'll let the people in the comment section decide who was actually right.
Yeah.
No, don't start a flame war.
Is it Trump? No. Is it Trump or is it Kichu Chakang?
1, 2, 3, 4. I'ma start a flame war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Everyone bring all your hate.
It was a hate-filled podcast. With,
it was fun. It was fun. I like winning arguments.
With Ilserwin staying out of the way.
He had to change into his black and white striped ref outfit for this one. So we actually include Ilserwin in the last 40 seconds of the podcast.
I was looking for a coin, man.
Okay, we've been going for like an hour.
Yeah, after we're done with the podcast, Ilserwin, me and you are gonna have to record the part when you say it's tails.
Oh, what the
I think what we're going to do for future podcasts is we're always going to have one of us should always keep a penny by our desks, just so when we have to, when someone starts arguing, we're going to have to flip the coin and say, actually no, Obsidian was right all along, even if I'm not in the argument,
Does the mini disc work?
No, get a coin. Are you that broke poor?
Oh, okay. I will.
Okay,
right.
One last topic of the day, or are we done?
Go ahead. Quickly, do you have it? No?
No, I was hoping someone
I
else...
have one.
Go for it, mate.
Okay, so the longest you've stayed awake for.
Oh, one night I stayed awake for 3 days.
Oh, no, I can't talk about this topic now.
He didn't get that one, that's okay, folks.
What? What?
No, one night I stayed awake for 3 days. No.
Did you?
No. No, okay, no, it's alright.
Wow.
Well, okay.
So you're gonna go?
Did you got that topic in a random generator?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god, it sounded terrible.
But you were awake for a week, weren't you?
Oh, yes, I was.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so I got a kidney stone a few months ago. I don't know, it's like almost a year now, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I had to stay in the hospital for recovery, but the thing is, I kept getting this random fever, so I had to stay there overnight, like, even longer. So, but whenever I tried to sleep, because I had, like, a catheter coming out of my dick,
Oh!
I couldn't sleep properly.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, blinded to that with that, didn't I?
Oh yeah, just that's an image and a half.
Bad image, bad image.
So,
This is why you don't chug maple juice.
so I had that catheter in for like a few days. I couldn't sleep because I kept getting this hurt pain.
From the
when they-
catheter?
Yeah. So then, when I was moved to like another room, there was this fan going off, so I couldn't sleep. So like I just had to stay awake. Then I realized I was in the maternity ward, so there were like a bunch of babies crying like every few hours or so.
How did you end up there?
They had to move me for some reason. I don't know why.
You just really, really strung out on like Vicodin or something. Just morphine.
Do you have any idea how much a catheter hurts?
No,
can't
I
imagine.
never been in a hospital.
Especially when you have to pull it out.
Ooh, ooh, oh no, don't, no, oh. Don't want to think about that.
Then when they did, I found out there's like this other tube in me called a stent.
Oh, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, that
No.
had to come out too.
No, I don't want to think about it. No.
Great podcast.
You know, I regret asking if Ilserwin had a conversation. I'm sitting here cross-legged, just my face is going bright red, just going. Nope.
Oh, then the test after.
Oh god. What happened afterwards?
So I had to get like this ultrasound. Then I forgot what the procedure called. I forgot what the procedure was called, but basically I had to get a tube in my dick again.
Oh.
Is that like are we telling now Canadian horror stories now?
Yes, we are apparently.
It's the sort of toned down American horror story, Canadian horror story. No, actually,
Yep.
no. This is worse. This is way worse.
I couldn't pee right for like a few days, man.
That's gotta just be uncomfortable.
Damn.
Yeah, for like the first few days.
Although there must be sort of just chilling that you don't actually need to go to the bathroom. It's just a tube done.
Yeah. Cause like when I first realized I had a catheter in me, I was like drinking water. Then like after a few days, I realized, how come I haven't need to pee yet?
Oh, you don't even feel the need?
No, cause I'm like sitting there. Okay, so I can't go to the bathroom. So why is this? So I decide to like lift my sheets. I see a catheter coming out of me. I'm just like, oh no, that's
Okay.
gonna hurt.
That's gonna hurt when you pull it out. Oh,
It did.
it must be a time saver. It's like that's the future. If we can perfect that and not be
Yeah,
painful,
yeah.
do.
We should start selling
Yeah.
that to gamers.
Oh yes, it's the best. You know, you know what? I'm actually surprised. You know those people that sell all those really ridiculous looking mice and
Yeah.
laptops and stuff like Alienware.
Yeah.
Alienware catheters for long endurance gaming. It just comes part with a lazy boy. You know, you pull open a drawer and it's got some, you know, of those bags. They just collect them in. That's fine. Oh.
Ugh.
So with that note, should we end
On
this?
that note, yeah. Oh,
We're in over an hour.
Oh,
Good
yes,
luck
we
editing
are.
that, Cat.
We are. Oh. Yeah.
That was some nightmare fuel and a half. But I think that's a good place to end it. Does someone want to sign off?
Yes. Bye.
Okay then.
Fine. I've been Catsewage.
What?
No, I've been Catsewage. I haven't been Catsewage. I've been Obsidian Pixels. He's been Catsewage.
I'm being an idiot.
Yeah, I'm the bigger idiot. I just gave myself the wrong name. I'm still in shock of the catheter story.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna need to sit down now. Just a flannel over my forehead. We will see. We won't see you. We never see you. Why do we say that? You will hear us
Next time.
next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, Elswin.
Okay, see ya.